Well, good evening, good people. I've been lost a little bit, but now I'm back. And tonight I just want to say two things. One, to clarify to you the status of Rigathi Gachagua and the status of Professor Kithure Kindiki. You may say you already know, but if you watch what's happening in court, the clarification that Paul Mwite made and that Professor Tom Ojenda made, you would even see there's a confusion between or among the lawyers on what exactly is the status of the deputy president. Now, I'm going to use the law tonight or today to clarify the status of the two. And first, I'll want to take you to conservatory order that was issued sometimes last week. And I want to read for you part 3 because I want to leave no doubt as to the status of these two. Then after that, I will likely tell you what's going to happen in court tonight. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to justify it. So I'd like to read 3, which says this: in the meantime, due to the issues raised by the petition and the application and the urgency, a conservatory order is hereby issued. 1, this conservatory order is supposed to stay the implementation of the resolution by the Senate upholding the impeachment charges. So what he's saying, the Senate has decided, but the court is saying here that we are not going to implement what the Senate has decided. And what did the Senate decide? To impeach the deputy president, and they confirmed it. And I'll be reading for you Article 145(7) as the last justification. So 1, it states the implementation of that resolution by the Senate that impeached the deputy president. And 2, it also stayed the appointment of his replacement until the 24th of October, when the matter will be mentioned before the bench that is currently going through this. So it did 2 things. It stayed the implementation of the resolution by the Senate. It's not challenging that resolution by the Senate. It just stayed it. It told the court, or the court said, don't implement this decision of the Senate. It didn't challenge that decision of the Senate. Secondly, something that was overtaken by event is the appointment of the replacement of Rigathi Gachagua. So in effect, it was saying, please don't appoint someone to replace Rigathi as we deliberate on this matter. Now, that's the first explanation. The second explanation that will leave no doubt as to the status, because remember, the court never challenged the impeachment. It just said, yes, you have impeached, but don't implement this impeachment by the Senate. So the second thing, I'll take you to Article 145 of the Constitution. I'll read for you only part 7. So part 7 says, if at least 2/3 of the members of the Senate vote to uphold any impeachment charge, the president shall cease to hold office. At that point, so long as the Senate has upheld the decision by 2/3 to impeach the president, and remember, the impeachment of the president is the same as impeachment of the deputy president. So long as, the law says, so long as the Senate has upheld by 2/3 the impeachment of a president, and by extension the deputy president, then he stands impeached. That is what the law says. He ceases from holding office. So Rigathi Gachagua ceased from holding the office of the deputy president on the day the Senate confirmed the impeachment resolution that was sent to the National Assembly. It leaves no doubt that he is not the deputy president of Kenya as by law. So I hope that settles it. You know where they stand. And Kithure Kindiki was duly appointed. After appointment, he was confirmed by the National Assembly. Also the Constitution, I think Article 150. If I'm not wrong, I may check that, but it will take a lot of time. So Kindiki was duly appointed, because that's the requirement of the law, appointed by the president and confirmed by the National Assembly, and there was no nays, even one. So Kithure Kindiki is the deputy president in quotes elect. We don't have Rigathi Gachagua, we don't have 2 deputies. That's a fallacy. Whoever is saying it is lying. Now, lastly, what's happening in court? And I'm going to draw my conclusion from the orders that were issued today, from the proceedings of the court. The Deputy Chief Justice decision to panel was very much in order. He's a deputy to the Chief Justice, and this is an administrative action that she took. The only part she cannot play as the Deputy Chief Justice, it's at the Judicial Service Commission. The rest, the DCJ is by law mandated to deputize fully the Chief Justice. That's settled. Now, the reason why I believe this will go the way I'll tell you before stopping this video is because look at the court. There is no more urgency on the part of the petitioners or the applicants. They have stopped the urgency. They are okay taking other dates. This is what I said last week. Rigathi Gachagua will look to be discharged from the weight of impeachment, not to be restored or retained as a deputy president. Period. They have stopped. There's no urgency. They don't care. Yet they have conservatory orders that benefited them that I've just read. So the other side is prejudiced by a conservatory order, but this side, they don't care. Like, they're taking their sweet time. So, my prediction before I hang up, these conservatory orders will be vacated and Kithure Kindiki will be sworn in because they did everything right. It will be vacated and Kithure Kindiki will be sworn in. That's it.
Those who think that impeaching Gachagua is a walk on the park. We are now in the arena where the Constitution and the law applies. The courts after the High Court, any party that will lose this matter will go to the Court of Appeal. Any party that will lose this matter will go to the Supreme Court. And I'm telling Kenyans, the deputy president shall be in office until around March 2027, when they will part away and each will form a political party to contest the elections of 2027. We are calling upon the judiciary to follow the law, and I'm appealing to the media. You are the custodians of the people's rights.
And as we prepare, tukienda hii uchaguzi tunaenda. Hii uchaguzi itakuwa kali sana. Najua mimi ni mtu ya kusikiza ground. Some serious decisions have already been made. By this December, ulisikia nikisema siku nilikuwa Inoro. By this December, decisions will have been made on who is coming back and who is going home. And after December, you cannot change anything. So wale wamepotea njia between now and December, ujaribu kufanya nini? Coordination. Na mimi ni mudi ya ground, mimi nasikiza sana. I always listen to the people, but what I know is that watu wetu wamerefuka sana. People are very intelligent. Naweza kuona watu wamenyamaza. Unafikiria tu wako tu pale, hakuna kitu wanajua. Unawadanganya, wanakuangalia tu. They don't say anything. Especially hii watu ya hii mlima Kenya. Kama wataki wewe unajua wasemi. They just keep quiet. Ukiona hii watu ya mlima Kenya wamenyamaza na hawaongei, hawakupigii kelele, hawasemi wewe kwenda, wamenyamaza tu, wewe ujue mambo yako yamefanya nini? Yeah. But when you hear they are making noise, wagali wako na hope that unaweza rekebisha mane. This is a way to go to create national cohesion. Kenya is one. It's a beautiful country, and we are all Kenyans. I saw during the Olympics, everybody was cheering the medalists as Kenyans. But that does not mean because we are all Kenyans, we forget our origin and identity. Sindio? Much as we are Kenyans and we come together, we must remember that we have an origin, we have identity, We have some traditions, we have some customs, we have some beliefs. And it's also good to uphold our traditions. Much as we come together as one country, as one people, we must always remember that we have an origin, we have an identity.